Hello, my name is Sydney Sidders and Solhan_do, and today I have another video for you. It's not a walking video today. Today I'm going to be going back to the old days of my channel, where I used to do videos about DVDs. I have got an absolute ton of DVDs that I want to show. I've been very excited to film this for quite a while. Ever since I started uploading on YouTube fairly consistently again, I wanted to get back to this side of my channel where I show off the DVDs that I have come in possession of and I have watched and my thoughts on them. If you go back about, say, a year and a half or 2 years, I used to do these DVD haul videos all the time. But then I sort of stopped, and now I think is the right moment for me to pick them back up again. At least whenever I have enough DVDs for me to show. So today I'm going to be showing all of the DVDs that I have become in possession of since roughly October 2017 until now. I've got quite a lot of them, so this is going to take some time, so let's get straight into this video. To start off with, I've got 5 DVDs that I haven't actually watched yet out of this collection that I've got here. So I'm going to show off those ones first. And the first DVD is Sully, Miracle on the Hudson. I picked this up because, well, it's quite critically acclaimed. I thought it looked interesting. I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet, so that's the first video, rated 12. That's pretty much all there is to show there. The second DVD that I've got that I haven't watched so far is The Boy and the Beast. This is an anime DVD by the same people as The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and Summer Wars and those films. I'm quite excited to watch this, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. This is probably the next one on my list. If not the one I'm about to show you, one of these two will be the next one that I'll watch. This is also, interestingly enough, rated 12, even though this looks like a one of the animes that would be more aimed at children, but it has a higher rating, so I'm interested to see why that is. So next up, the other film that is on my mind to watch soon is Your Name. It took me so long to buy this. I've been so excited to watch it. Obviously it's been hugely successful. It's the most successful anime film of all time, overtaking Spirited Away. I love the other films that the director of this has made, such as 5 centimeters per second, although I prefer the manga for that, and Children Who Leapt Through Time, I think that's the other one. I really enjoyed that film, so I'm very excited to watch Your Name and see what that's about. Also rated 12 in the UK. Next up we have Arrival. I know nothing about this film, nothing at all. It's rated 12. I think I got it for Christmas from a family member. I'm not too sure. I think it was my mum. I haven't gotten around to watching it yet, but I shall do at some point soon. And lastly, out of the ones that I haven't watched yet, we have The Assassin, which I think is a Chinese film. It better be, otherwise that's bad. Yeah, Mandarin, that's in China. Rated 12, it says at the bottom corner. I saw this in HMV about 2 weeks ago, and I was buying some other DVDs. I'm not too sure what other ones I bought at the same time, but they have this thing where they have 2 films for £20 or something, and if you don't spend that, then you're spending more if you just buy 1 film. So I looked around and I saw this and I thought it looked quite interesting. I usually like the martial arts films, so this will be a fun watch to see what this film's like. So that was the 5 films that I haven't watched so far, right there. And now onto the films that I have watched. So first of all, in the films that I have watched, we have 2 war films, which is surprising for me. I'm not usually one for war films, but I saw these 2 and I really wanted to watch them, so I got them. We've got Dunkirk, which was hugely successful recently. I've seen the reviews and all that stuff. It's rated 12, so I thought it'd be a good film to check out. And I really, really did love this film. I thought this film was fantastic. It was really enjoyable to watch. It was amazingly done, I think. But this film and the second war film that I have, I am very torn on as to which one's my favourite. I definitely think the second one possibly has the edge, but I thought Dunkirk was fantastic. I say I give it like a 4.7, 4.7 sort of. The second war film that I've watched was Hacksaw Ridge, and this was much more adult. It's rated 15. This one was quite mild. Dunkirk was more mild. Well, it's war, but it was more, it didn't have so much blood and violence in it. This one only in certain scenes, but it's more graphic. That's the word I'm looking for, graphic. This I thought was amazing. I thought Hacksaw Ridge was a fantastic film. I give this 5-star, no doubt. Let's move on to some of the other films I've got here. The next one that I actually saw at the cinema is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This I give a 5-star as well. I love this film so much. I thought it was a fantastic way to bring us back into the Wizarding world and it's set in the 1920s, which is even more exciting. It's rated 12, like pretty much all of the later Harry Potter films, and it's a little bit more adult because all the characters are adults. I actually got the soundtrack for this as well at Christmas, because I love that soundtrack. The soundtrack's fantastic for this film. I'm also so excited for The Crimes of Grindelwald, which will be coming out later this year. That'll be the second installment in the Fantastic Beasts series. I cannot wait to see what's going to be happening in that. Next up we have an animated film, or, well, a stop-motion film, Kubo and the 2 Strings. This has caught my eye for a long time. I loved Coraline, I loved Paranorman. I haven't watched Box Trolls, so that'll be next on my list. I probably should have watched that before this, because chronological order, although the films aren't related, the order in which they are made is what I mean. But yeah, Kubo and the 2 Strings really caught my attention. I love the whole setting of this film. I think I just love all the films that this company makes. This one's rated PG, as a lot of their films are. And this is another film which I would give a 5-star to. I thought it was fantastic. I really enjoyed this film as well. Oh gosh, I'm gonna feel bad about giving everything 5-star. This next film is gonna test me a little bit. But we have The Wave. This is a Norwegian film, and it is in Norwegian. There's no, it's not in English, it's just with subtitles. It's a disaster film, rated 15. Although I'm surprised about the 15 rating. I would have given it a 12. I'm not too sure. It says contains strong threat, natural disaster scenes. But I would have given it a 12 if I was rating it. It's no more scarier than, say, The Day After Tomorrow or something like that, which is rated 12. But I thought this was one of the best disaster films I'd seen in years. Ever since 2012, the last great disaster film, or maybe San Andreas, they'd kind of gone downhill a little bit. There hadn't been many good disaster films, and The Wave, this was fantastic. I give this a solid 4.5 star. I want to give it a 5 star, but not quite. Nearly there, but not quite. 4.5 star. I need to discipline myself, because otherwise I'm just going to want to talk highly of everything. I need to not rate everything 5-star. Next up, we have the oldest film on this list, which I bought in HMV along with the Assassin, which you saw earlier. The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock. This is from 1963, it says on the side actually. It's a bit difficult for you to see, but I got this mainly because I've always heard about The Birds and I've always wanted to see it. So I bought it so that I could watch it. And I thought it was quite surprisingly good for a film that's from the 60s. Usually films that are quite old I'm not that into, but this one I thought, obviously it was old, but it could match up to today's standards if it was better film quality. Like you can tell it's an old film, or certain bits were different, but it was really good. It's an old film that you can still enjoy today, is basically what I'm saying. It's rated 15 in the UK. I am a bit surprised by it. Well, I'm not. At the time, I wouldn't be surprised that they rated it 15. And in fact, I'm not surprised that they didn't rate... In fact, I'm surprised they didn't rate it 18 at the time, because there are a lot of films in the olden days of films where they rated it 18, and today it would not be an 18 at all, such as the first Alien film, or yeah, other films such as that. This I feel like's edging on possibly being able to be rated 12, but it's rated 15. And if I was in the 60s, then I would give this probably 5-star. I would give this 5-star if I was watching this in the 60s. Today though, I'd give it I think a 4.5. Next up, we have two films which go hand in hand together with each other because they are connected to each other. The first one is Train to Busan. This is a Korean film, rated 15, and it is also, I guess it's a disaster film. It's a zombie apocalypse film, and it follows the story of this dad and this little girl who are catching trains to try and escape the zombie apocalypse and make their way from Seoul to Busan. I would give this film a 5-star. I think this is my favourite zombie film that I've ever watched. I enjoyed World War Z and Shaun of the Dead, and all those sort of films are good, but this is my favourite. I think this is my favourite zombie film. Seoul Station, which is the animated companion or prequel to Train to Busan. I think it's a prequel, or maybe slightly running along the same timeline. But yeah, it's set around the same time, it's animated. Unfortunately, it's actually CGI. I didn't realise that when I was buying it. CGI is okay. Films like Frozen or Wreck-It Ralph, that sort of Disney films. But or even like Shrek and stuff. But anyway, I vastly prefer hand-drawn animation. Like, so much hand-drawn animation over CGI any day. Especially when it comes to Asian animation. If I look at Japanese anime and I see that it's CGI, it's really difficult for me to make it through that. There are some that I have made it through, but there's an anime series called Freedom, which is CGI, and I made it through that, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. But more cases than not, if it's CGI, it doesn't feel right. It has to be hand-drawn. So I had that problem with this film, but looking beyond that, it's rated 15 as well. Although I agree with 15 rating for this one, Train to Busan. This one is edging on 18, I feel like. This animated Seoul Station. This one follows the story of multiple people. I say the main character is probably this girl in the bottom corner here. But it follows her father and her boyfriend, who are trying to find her while running around Seoul, and she's getting in all these disasters of zombies and stuff. And when I finished watching this film, I hated it. I hated it so much. The film ended and I was... No. And I was very frustrated watching this whole film. And then about... That's interesting. Let's notice this one's only got 4-star ratings on the front, but this one's got a 5-star rating on the front. So that's strange. But after about 2 hours or 3 hours after I watched this film, my opinion of it changed. I didn't even watch it again. I now like this film. Even though I hated it when I was watching it, and I hated it even more when I just finished watching it, after about 2 hours or 3 hours after I watched it, I liked it. So I think this is a good film. This, it's... if you want a typical zombie apocalypse film, that's... You can just sit back and watch without thinking too much. Watch Train to Busan. When you want to think about it, watch Seoul Station. But yeah, so I gave Train to Busan 5-star, and reluctantly, I'm gonna have to give Seoul Station 5-star as well. Next we have Murder on the Orient Express. This is rated 12. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of this film. It was quite popular, I think, when it came out, or at least a lot of people have heard of it. So I wanted to watch it for quite a while. I like Agatha Christie sort of films. I haven't actually read any Agatha Christie books, but I like the films of Agatha Christie. So that's what made me want to pick this up. And I'd give this a solid 4-star. I think this is a good 4-star film. I found the ending to be underwhelming for me personally, but I loved most of the film. And I liked it at the end. I still liked it. So it's a 4-star. And our last film before we go on to the box sets is Pokemon the Movie, I Choose You! This is the first Pokemon in movie in the new installment, or the new way that they're doing it. Previously, the movies ran alongside the anime, well, the anime series, as opposed to being separate. But this film takes us back to the start and is almost a parallel timeline, or a different timeline, let's say, of Ash and Pikachu's adventure throughout the first few months or weeks. I'm not too sure what the time frame is. It's a bit difficult to tell, but I imagine month at least. This is rated a PG. I should actually check, because this has the original Pokemon film inside it as well. Yeah, there you go. So we've got the I Choose You movie right here, which is PG, and we've got the original Pokemon movie from 1998 or 7, I think it's 8, which is also rated PG. So I just wanted to check that it didn't just say it because this one was PG. I really like the artwork on the inside here. This is Pikachu. Well, Pikachu with Ash's hat on and all the Pokemon around. That's so cute. Now, ever since the end of the Diamond and Pearl movies, I think the last one was Zoroark, the Pokemon movies have gone downhill. I liked most of the Pokemon films up until Zoroark. Zoroark was the last one that was enjoyable to watch. After that, they're just a bit eh. And that's 6 movies that were eh. I've watched 2 of the black and white ones. There's one black and white Pokemon film that I haven't watched. I didn't really enjoy them that much. And I've watched all 3 of the X and Y Pokemon movies. And again, Diancie, which is the first one of the X and Y, I didn't really enjoy. Hooper, there we go, that's it. Which I thought was okay. It was getting sort of, but it wasn't quite at the level of the Pokemon movies from Diamond and Pearl and before. And then the last one, I can't say it, but something like Volcano. I enjoyed that, and I was surprised. I thought it wasn't quite at the old level, but it was nearly there. They nearly had it, but it wasn't quite there. And then Pokemon I Choose You comes out, and I thought this was amazing. This was a great Pokemon film. This was like the old days of Pokemon. The quality of this film was absolutely fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I would definitely recommend it to anyone who might have fallen out of the Pokemon movie loop, as I did with Black and White and X and Y. I only I watched the first 2 Black and White films, and then I didn't even watch the 3rd one. And after watching this, I decided to go back to watch the X and Y films, which is when I got that opinion of them. I will go back to watch the 3rd Black and White film, but I haven't yet. Otherwise, I've watched all of them. And this I'd give about, I think, a good 4.7. I'm tempted to give it 5-star, but I shouldn't. That's seen as we were just talking about it. Pokemon Indigo League, which finally came out in the UK, the first season of Pokemon. This took so long, 20 years or 21 years. This is as old as me. Pokemon is the same age as me. 1996. Well, the game I think was 1995 maybe. But the series, 1996. So finally they released this in the UK. It's rated PG, which I guess I can see. Inside we've got, hitting me in the eyeball, we've got 2 cases, one with Ash's face on the front and one with Pikachu, and inside here they've got multiple CDs with the episodes on. I've got Pokemon's on theirs. This is so exciting that they released this. The inside of the Pikachu one's pretty much the same. All of the episodes from the Indigo League, the first Pokemon season. Next up, going away from anime and animation, we have The Ganges with Sue Perkins. This is a little documentary with the TV personality Sue Perkins. She goes to India and she talks all about the Ganges and various topics around the river. I thought it was a very interesting documentary. I loved all the information that we was learning, and the quality of the film footage was good as well. At certain parts I feel like there could have been a little bit more, but as with quite some documentaries, it felt a tiny bit rushed, but particularly on the first episode. Also, interestingly enough, this goes from the source in the Himalayas to the... Well, it doesn't quite go from the source. That's another thing. I feel like they should have gone to the source, but they were nearly at the source. To the estuary. I also found her I don't want to be rude, but I found her slightly annoying at times with some of the jokes that she was making, but otherwise I think she did a good job of on this documentary. I did enjoy it quite a lot. It actually has a rating 12, quite interesting, because a lot of documentaries, when it's just a factual thing, they don't have ratings, but this one does, a 12 rating. I enjoyed it. And someone's shouting outside. I didn't, however, enjoy that quite as much as this next one, which is Joanna Lumley in Japan. I love watching Joanna Lumley's series, her documentary series. This is the first one that I actually own. I'm a huge fan of Japanese landscape and culture. I thought that this was a good one to start with. And it actually doesn't have an age rating, like you usually expect from documentaries. Yeah, it doesn't even, on the disc there's nothing. So, that's good. I thoroughly enjoyed this as well. Again, with these documentaries with TV personalities in them, they always feel slightly rushed. But Otherwise, I thoroughly enjoyed this, slightly more than the Ganges. I always find Joanna Lumley really funny, so or entertaining. So that's probably a part of why I enjoyed this quite a bit. Oh, I should have mentioned she travels from the northern island Hokkaido to Honshu, and then down to the southern islands, so Ryukyu Islands and Okinawa, throughout that documentary. Attack on Titan, which I hadn't watched until 2017. So I decided to buy the complete first season. 25 episodes. It's rated 15, which I definitely understand it being rated 15. Had this been 10 years old or more, then it'd probably be rated 18, but nowadays 15's a good rating for it. Despite it being very mainstream in anime, which I usually back away from. For example, I've never watched Naruto. I've watched the first few episodes, but I couldn't get further than that. I've watched a lot of Bleach, but I think I've watched like 5 or 6 seasons of Bleach, but I couldn't. I kind of faded out from that a little bit at that point. There's a lot of mainstream stuff that I haven't, that I kind of shy away from. I like to watch the more underground stuff, or not so popular, which is funny because the next thing I'm going to show you is very mainstream as well. But yeah, Attack on Titan, I decided to give it a go. Oh, there we go, Sword Art Online, that's another one that I've shied away from. But yeah, Attack on Titan, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I thought inside you've got these two boxes for the first half and the second half, which are very separated from each other. They're like two separate stories. They continue on from each other, but they're two separate stories. The first half, I could rate this series in two separate halves because I vastly enjoyed the second half over the first half. The first half I would give a 4 at a stretch. I made it through it and I did enjoy it, but it was just too stretched out. I think it was too stretched out, or the way that it was done, I was a bit... it's not the greatest. If we can check the inside, just to show you. It's got these two discs. That's the first half. And the second half, I would give a 5-star to. I really enjoyed the second half a lot more. I found this so entertaining. I couldn't get enough of this second half. Here's the inside. You got the two discs again, just a different colour. So yeah, as a whole, that's a 4.5 for the series. The second half 5-star, the first half 4-star. Next up, we have a very popular One Punch Man. I decided to give in and watch One Punch Man because it's been extremely popular anime. This is also rated 15, which I feel like this could almost be rated 12. But I can see perhaps certain bits making it 15. I think some of the discs inside are actually 12 as opposed to 15. But yeah, so I gave in to the hype. I watched it. I bought this in HMV and I watched it. I actually bought Attack on Titan in HMV as well. And I thoroughly enjoyed the first half of this series. I thought it was very well paced, very good episodes, all in the first half. Unfortunately, as is the case with quite a few anime, the second half the pace was too fast. I felt like everything was happening too quickly. There should have been more stuff in between all the events. Also, I feel like some of the characters' arcs were just rushed in the second half, or characters that you'd only slightly been introduced to. Suddenly they're a big part of the series and they should have had more time to be introduced and getting to know those characters. You're just expected to know them. They just suddenly come into the series in the second half. So this could have done with an extra 5 episodes or something in the second half, I would say. But the first half I thoroughly enjoyed. What's an anime? It's Blue Planet 2, the documentary about the ocean and all the life surrounded by the ocean and in the ocean. Narrated by David Attenborough. I've watched Blue Planet 1, I've watched Planet Earth, I've watched Planet Earth 2, and I've watched Life. I've watched a lot of BBC documentaries. Those are just the big ones. Oh, Frozen Planet as well I've watched. Sunshine's come to say hello. Sunshine! Hey there, Sunshine! She wants to get down. Okay, there you go. Now I'm covered in cat hair. Alright, Blue Planet 2. I enjoyed this. It's what you expect. The life in the ocean. Let's have a look inside. I think this definitely lived up to the Blue Planet 1 hype. This is a fantastic sequel. You got the first disc there. And yeah, this is another one that's rated. It's rated a U here and a PG in Ireland. And then the other side we've got rated a U and a G in Ireland, and a U and a PG in Ireland. But yeah, I really like this box set. I like that they've used both sides of this little sticky out thing. Usually they just use one side. So that's pretty cool. Blue Planet 2. Good documentary. I definitely recommend it. Little sunshine's in the background. The Simpsons. I have collected all 18 seasons of The Simpsons. This is season 17. It's got Sideshow Bob on the front. This is the only one that's rated 15. Every other Simpsons season is either PG for the first 4 or 12 for the rest of them. But this one was rated 15. And interestingly enough, it didn't do that well when they sold it, so they stopped making Simpsons box sets for a while after this. Well, I've watched a few episodes in this, but I haven't watched them all. I kind of pick and like, oh, do I want to watch that one or don't I? It's more of a thing that I just collect now. Although I do watch the episodes that draw my attention when I look at the little booklet, and eventually I watch all of the episodes. I always love what they do to the inside of these Simpsons box sets. They're absolutely fantastic. Like, look at this. They got an entire artwork. And the same goes for on the other side. Got entire artwork, and inside each of these there's a CD, but they're a bit difficult to get out. You can see the edge of a CD right there. And they got the little booklet here. Unfortunately, the cases for seasons 11 until 17 are very flimsy, and they get really bent and ripped and broken. And with season 18, which is the other one that I got, the cases are now sturdier again, so I like that. This is better quality case than the previous ones. And it also, the first one in which they come with a little difficult to take off sleeve. Previously they had this on the back, but it was always stuck on, so you'd end up taking it off and then you'd have to throw it in the bin, because it's just a piece of paper. But now they've actually made it into a proper sleeve. I really like that. This is back to being rated 12 again for a Simpsons box set. It's gonna be, I can't really give these a rating because I haven't watched all of the episodes inside of these. I've just watched a few. It feels so nice. This one, it's like no longer all plasticky. It's like, it's probably plastic and cardboard, but they've done a really good job on bringing back these Simpsons box sets with season 18. It's much better quality feeling. Lisa and Maggie there. Ta-da! 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 I love I love the design of these box sets. They're so beautiful. And again, they've got the CDs inside the different compartments. Beyond the Boundary, the anime complete collection, and Beyond the Boundary. But this one's I'll Be Here. This is like a movie that comes after the series, both of which are rated 15. I love the artwork on the front of these. They're so beautiful. I haven't actually watched this yet, and I'm only halfway through this one. Oh, the artwork of this is so nice. I love it so much. Ah, this anime, I'm thoroughly enjoying this anime so far. I've only watched this first disc, and I'd give it about, edging on 5, like a 4.5 at the moment. I'm hoping it doesn't go down in quality. I really want this to be a good ending. But we'll have to see how this goes. But I am enjoying it a lot so far. Now we're on the last two things, but this first of the last two things contains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. Oh my gosh, I've gone crazy with this series. I became obsessed from January until recently when I completed it, and that is Doctor Who. I bought so much Doctor Who stuff, starting with Doctor Who, The Time of the Doctor. There you go. This is the last Christmas special with the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, in it. I already had, which season? Season 7 on DVD for a long time, so I didn't have to watch that, or buy that, but I had to buy this. So, there we go. This is the... Oh, it's rated PG as well. Well, yeah, everyone knows what Doctor Who is. This one in particular, I think, yeah, this is 5-star for me. This was a fantastic episode. Then we have the complete box set, Doctor Who Series 8. This is the first one with Peter Capaldi as the Doctor, the 12th Doctor, featuring Clara Oswald. She's in that other one as well. She was introduced in Season 7, Series 7. I thoroughly enjoyed this series. This is rated 12. Really enjoyable. I'd give this 5-star as well. I think it was a really good series. I enjoyed Peter Capaldi, I enjoyed Clara in this. I enjoyed most of the episodes, how they turned out. This is without sleeve on, it's pretty much the same. And inside, this one has a really nice design. It's got all these nice discs, nicely laid out, and whatnot. There you go. It's super awesome. I love the design of this one. So 5-star again. I love Doctor Who. It's just fun to watch. And then I can't believe I bought all these in such a short period of time. We've got the complete 12th series. No, 9th series, 12th Doctor. 9th series of Doctor Who. This is also rated 12, and it's also got Peter Capaldi and Clara Oswald in it. Why am I saying? Jenna Coleman, that's the actual actress's name. Peter Capaldi is the actor's name, but he's the 12th Doctor, and Clara Oswald is the character's name. But Jenna Coleman is the actress's name. Yeah, so, the reason I kind of stopped watching Doctor Who for a long time after Matt Smith ended, so it took me a while to get back into it with Peter Capaldi. But now after a few years, suddenly I've got to go through all these series, and I've been enjoying going through them all. It's been so fun to do all this. But yeah, the 9th series, this series was okay. At this point I'd become fed up with Clara Oswald. She stayed too long in my opinion. I feel like her story was good enough at the end of series 8, I was done with her as such. But she stuck around for some strange reason where it was just awkward that she was there. She could have been filled by another character, which I think would have been better for the story in a way. The only thing that sort of redeemed her in this is how this series ended. I enjoyed the ending. I enjoyed most of this. The only thing that brought it down was Clara being unnecessarily there. They should have created some other story points for her to make it more of a reason for her to be there. Here's the inside, and there's Clara. And this is a kind of traditional box setting where you flip up and you get all the different CDs. I really enjoyed this character here. I don't know if you can see that very well. Her, she's really good in this this series. So many discs. It's really hard to show them off. But yeah, there you go. And of course, this episode at the very end, the husband of River Song, that definitely gets a 5-star. That one episode would get a 5-star. And then in the complete series 10, we no longer have Clara. Yay! This gets a 5-star as well. I really enjoyed this. One of the pointers at the end almost brought, well, not quite at the end. And it's not really at the end. One fact about this series almost brought it down to a 4.9, but I'll give it a 5-star. I really enjoyed this. I loved the new companion. She's called Bill Potts. I'm not too sure what the actress's name is. And we've still got the 12th Doctor in this one. Complete series 10. Inside, oh, this is also rated 12. Inside it comes with these little flippy things which reveal... Wonder if the camera will pick it up. Oh yeah, you can see it kind of like, it changes. The discs are a little less original. I like the layout of the discs, but they've just all got the same picture on them. I would have preferred, I think it would have been cool if they all had different pictures. But that's just a tiny thing. Yeah, one of my favourites of Peter Capaldi. And the last Doctor Who thingy-mabob that I have is Doctor Who Twice Upon a Time. The final one until now. Basically the most recent Doctor Who. The Christmas special which came after season 10. Series 10. And it's also rated 12. And I'd give this yeah, I'd say a 4.8. I really enjoyed this, but not quite to the 5-star. But I did really enjoy it. It's almost as good as Series 10. Just a 4.8 though. It's pretty much just the same inside with the same picture on the disc and everything. There's a cat hair in the thing. But yeah, that's that, and it's got her still. Yeah, I enjoyed that. That was all my Doctor Who's that I bought all of these in such a short period of time. I think that's just crazy that I've done that. Now on to the final thing, which is my favorite thing that I've got overall. I love so much of this stuff. Yeah, but I feel like I'm showing so much off. People must think, oh, you have so much money to buy all this stuff. But I don't really. This is stuff over since like October, and quite a lot of this is from family as well for Christmas. So I only bought some of this stuff. The most expensive amount of stuff that I got was all these Doctor Who's. That was the most expensive. Everything else wasn't so much. It was either Christmas stuff or it wasn't quite as expensive. The last and my favorite thing that I got in the entirety of the past however many months was Avatar: The Last Airbender. The animated series. I love this so much. I've thought about watching it for years, but I just hadn't. And I'm so glad that I finally did. This is an amazing series. I can't stress that enough. 5-star all the way, 10-star if I had to. It's fantastic. I could watch this over and over again. Well, maybe not, but it is really good. Rated PG. This is the original animated series of Avatar: The Last Airbender, which came before the not so good live-action film. This contains book 1, 2, and 3, which is basically season 1, 2, and 3. All there. It's not focusing, but you get the idea. Here we have book 1, which is my least favourite out of the 3 books, but it's still really good. And it has some great artwork on it. So you can see there, got Katara and Aang and Sokka, Zuko and Aang again with Appa and Momo. And then the second book, which is here, this is a fantastic series book of the series, and I'm getting all muddled up. But yeah, fortunately one of the discs in this one slides out because it's broken a little bit. But yeah, that's the inside of that one. All of Aang on there, the main character. And here's the epic front cover of the 3rd book. And the inside. This is so surprising for something by Nickelodeon. I think this is perhaps my favourite series of all time. That's how much I loved this this series. It's got fantastic animation, particularly in the 2nd and 3rd book, and a fantastic story all around. For a show that is on a channel, Nickelodeon, aimed at children, this is for everyone. This isn't just for children, this is for all ages. In fact, a lot of it is of adult understanding. It's such a good series. I don't know what else to say other than check it out and make it through the 1st book to the 2nd and 3rd book. It is really, really amazing. And of course, I have got The Legend of Korra as well. This is the one box set that I haven't watched, and I'm putting it off for a while just so that I can get over the hype from this. I'll probably put this off for about half a year at least. Then I'll start with that. But I bought it. That's like the continuation after this. But absolutely amazing. Such a good series. Okay, so I don't think I can carry everything I've got here because there's just so much. Yeah, we got some of it. Yay! So much stuff here. Yay! Okay, well I hope you enjoyed my haul from, I don't know what I'm going to call this video, October to April, maybe, something like that. I thoroughly enjoyed showing off all of these DVDs and box sets that I have added to my collection. Make sure to tell me what you think in the comments below. Tell me if you've seen any of these shows or films. All the links are in the description if you want to find or read more about them. Thank you very much for watching, and bye everybody! Sunshine says goodbye as well. Bye!